Like, I agree with you, but that's not what you were saying, so fuck you. Don't change the fucking argument.
Suburbs. I basically forgot all about it until I was scrolling on the internet one day and I saw this photo. It might not look like it, but this is an oil rig. And I thought, no way, that can't be true. Otherwise everyone would know about it, right? So I spent the next few days digging deeper and learning that not only are fake buildings real, they are way more common than you might expect.
Yeah.
It's not just LA. There's New York, Paris, Toronto. I'm in Toronto, and I have never heard of this, so I gotta get a closer look.
Yo, what's up?
What?
Could I ask you a favor?
Sure, I'm so tiny.
Am I legally obligated to say yes?
Yes.
Fine.
You're going to New York, right?
Yes, for the people.
Canadian YouTubers are so fucking wholesome. Except for, like, the dipshits that come to America and, like, want to do conservative commentary. It's fucking annoying. You know what I mean? Every time I watch a Canadian YouTuber, they got, like, that same cheery music in the background. They're all, like, social democrat adjacent. You know what I mean? They talk about city planning and shit.
It's a video.
Nice. While you're there, could you go to the buildings that I am sending you right now?
Okay. Are they safe?
This is not in my country.
Yeah, it's like Paris, which is like, what, a 2-minute walk from the UK?
Please.
So you're gonna go?
Fine.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sick. Thank you! That's 2! We got them!
Okay. But what am I...
I'm hanging up now, bye! Now while those two do that, I'm gonna explore Toronto.
Once the seatbelt sign has been turned off.
Okay, so I am currently in a like a town square, and one of these buildings is not real, but I can't figure out which one that is. So, oh, okay. Yeah, I've just seen it.
Okay, it's probably at this point that I should explain what I mean by fake buildings. Like, what are we looking at? These buildings are not designed to mimic the architecture of a different
Toronto,
place.
dude.
Nor
Toronto
are they
heads
empty
rise
shells
up.
for movie sets.
Kid.
These buildings are different. What we've got here is probably best described by the photographer Robin Collier when he said that buildings like these ones are forms pretending to be something other than their function. The form is usually made to blend into the surroundings, to look like any other apartment in the city or house in a neighborhood. This is? No, somebody lives here. Okay, I found the right house.
This is legitimately not scripted, but I just walked past the fake building. What I was getting confused by was this is all apartment buildings, and then this right here, you can kind of see that this is all fake.
But not all fake buildings are that convincing.
I don't know what to tell you. Well, it's underwhelming. It just exists.
But all these buildings exist so that the function, whatever is inside, doesn't disrupt the visual atmosphere. So what's inside?
Yes, fam.
It all starts with the sign on the door. High voltage, keep out. There's like a little gated area here, so I'm gonna try and...
The one in New York, they just gave up. I like that. Originally, they were like, let's make this a building. And then they were just like, fuck it. It's like you look at the windows and it's just concrete. What is going on there?
Just look. Okay. Can I just... Oh, sick. This is an electrical substation, and it's the only thing inside this house. Holy shit. This is what it looks like when it's not in a fake house. Basically, it transforms electricity from the really dangerous high voltage energy generated in a power station to something you can safely use in your home. But it's not just Toronto. There are plenty of places with hidden substations.
And this is a fake building. It is actually an electrical transformer, and you can tell it's a transformer because there are a bunch of "you will be electrocuted and die" signs on the one door that lets you into the building. Other than that, it is basically just a wall.
However, fake buildings disguise more than just substations. There are those oil rigs in LA, cell phone towers in church steeples, a nuclear bunker in an Essex cottage, a pump
Some
station.
fucking white supremacists are watching this going, ooh, there's a new opportunity for us to like shoot at. Which, by the way, is a real thing that happened. And it's not made up. They are literally doing that. They're like hitting substations.
In North Carolina, and in high-density places with tunnels for cars or trains, there are disguised ventilation shafts.
On the map, this building doesn't actually have a roof. It's just a massive hole.
So, this place was gutted by New York's IRT in the 1900s to bring fresh air into the subway system to avoid carbon monoxide buildup and to serve as an emergency exit.
So, that is what fake buildings are usually hiding. But why do these things need to be hidden in the first place? I figured it was a safety measure to prevent curious urbanites from accidentally electrocuting themselves or falling down a ventilation shaft. But it turns out the actual answer is hard to find, because I don't think we were supposed to care this much. Fake buildings are basically just gift wrapping on a box, icing on a cake. Like we discovered, the important thing is what's inside. A result of this is that there doesn't seem to be a lot of energy put into documenting the story of the outside, which makes my question of why make very realistic fake buildings very hard to answer. So I decided to try and start at the beginning and look into the history of fake buildings nearby.
Bro, this guy fucking snuck into one.
Très marrant.
Oh no. Oh no. I hate that.
Si on conduit sur cette échelle-là, à descendre et voir ce qu'il y a. Alors je pense que c'est
My
absolument
hands are
illégal
so
ce que je
fucking
fais.
wet
Donc, je
right
préfère
now.
quand même
Oh
vous
god.
prévenir avant. Ne tentez pas ce que je fais, hein. Cela va de soi. Je pensais que ça tenait ce truc-là, j'allais appuyer tout mon poids dessus. Ah, j'ai bien fait de me tenir encore ici, sinon patatras comme on dit.
Patatras.
On va passer dans ce mode-là. Donc, on se croirait dans un film. Je sais pas du tout ce que je vais trouver en bas. On va voir ça tout de suite.
You scared of heights? I'm not scared of heights, but I hate free climbing videos. It's like weird. Like I don't have a problem like being high up in places like that, even looking down, but I just hate these like free climbing videos for some reason. I've done, motherfuckers, you say I'm scared of heights, but like I've quite literally done the high ropes and shit, you know what I mean? Like I've done it on camera. I just don't like this shit. Like when someone else is doing it, I guess.
Je suis assez surpris. Et effectivement, on sent un gros souffle froid là qui vient et une vibration. Je sais pas si vous l'entendez. Ouais, vite fait quoi. Une grosse vibration qui vient en bas. C'est grandiose quand même comme truc. Je veux pas parler trop fort au cas où. Cool.
What is he doing? What are you doing? See, this is what I mean. Like, no, bro. Use the... No. What the fuck? Bro, this is like a video game. Oh, I bet they fucking drop the ladder so someone doesn't drop from above. So, because from the bottom, you have access. So they just probably put the ladders up and then go up the ladders. And then when they're done, they take the ladders down so that fucking... this guy doesn't do the thing that he's doing.
Que je mets pas du tout mon poids sur ça. Je mets à peu près, enfin si je mets mon poids, mais je mets à peu près 10% de mon poids dessus. Et je cherche surtout à mettre tous mes appuis plutôt sur les structures qui tiennent. C'est juste vraiment un appui de transition, quoi.
The funniest part is this guy doesn't even look like he's in that great of a shape.
Ça a l'air de finir là, mes mains sont complètement dégueulasses. Je pense que l'air que je respire n'est pas très sain. Et ça, il y a la bouche d'aération. Du coup, j'hésite vraiment à regarder ce qu'il y a à l'intérieur une de ces portes. Parce que s'il y a une alarme qui se déclenche, je suis un peu dans la merde. Mais bon, on va quand même essayer pour l'information. Ok.
What's behind it?
What the fuck? Ah ouais, d'accord. Ok, en fait, cet immeuble, toute cette bouche d'aération a l'air complètement dégueulasse, même s'il est frais. Oh, je crois que j'ai respiré des trucs pas bien là, des trucs cancérigènes. Ça donne sur cet immeuble, ces fenêtres qui donnent du coup sur la façade. Et donc on remarque qu'à l'opposé d'un immeuble parisien, il n'y a aucun appartement derrière moi. Par contre, j'ai les doigts couverts de poussière sa mère. Là, je vais salir les murs, ouais. Je veux quand même mettre une petite trace dans mon passage. On va mettre V et T. Bon, c'est peut-être un peu débile de mettre ça.
V et T.
Mais bon, c'est juste pour signer ma victoire. Alors, est-ce qu'il y a une alarme qui relie à ces fenêtres? On va les ouvrir. Et c'est des vraies fenêtres. Ouh, énorme. Regardez-moi ça. Yes, ben voilà, je vous parle de l'immeuble factice parisien. Mission réussie quand même. C'est pas beau ça? Nickel. Voilà, vous m'avez demandé, je l'ai fait. Donc j'espère que vous mettrez un petit like et que vous commenterez le nécessaire pour savoir vos ressentis, etc. Et si jamais vous avez un autre défi à me faire réaliser, bah envoyez-moi ça sur Twitter ou sur Instagram. C'est avec plaisir que j'y jetterai un coup d'œil. Je suis content. Je pense que c'est
Escaping roof after the police call. Is this another fucking parkour video? Stop. Stop! Okay, no. Fuck that. I can't watch that. No, I legit can't watch that.
Okay, so I think I might have something. Back in the 1900s, when electricity was really new and exciting, they put these substations in these really grandiose buildings. This was around the same time that
I love Yamakasi, Banlieue 13, and numerous other fucking, was it Luc Besson movies? I grew up with them when I was growing up, okay? I love parkour movies. However, I can't watch those fucking, like, POV camera parkour movies, YouTube videos, because it fucks me up. Yamakasi.
that dude was building this castle in Toronto before he bankrupted himself, but the good times can't last forever, and World War II rolls around. Not good, famously. Economic hardship, rationing comes into play, and a bunch of people are moving towards the city to work in manufacturing, rapidly forming a bunch of suburbs. And what do they need? I wish I had like an animation. Can I? Ooh, I got it. But what do they need? Electricity. So Toronto's power company is faced with a situation where they need a bunch more substations in residential areas and they need to be cheap to make. What do? Well, I found this blog post. Specifically, I found this comment under the blog post. It says that their mother says that their grandfather, Harold Bodwell, was tasked with designing substations to fit in, so he chose houses. Genius, but can we trust the comment? We gotta corroborate. So I found this other article that also credits Harold Bodwell. Unfortunately, in the very next sentence, they misspell his name. Red flag, but we persist. So I go into Toronto's archive of city directories, flip back to the early 1900s, and who do I find but a draftsman named Harold A. Bodwell.
You know she bought that projector as a pandemic purchase and now is making the most use out of it, which is cool. Like, this is a cool aesthetic. I like it. But you know she bought that as a pandemic purchase, possibly off of like one of those Instagram ads or one of those TikTok ads.
Bodwell. So his middle name starts with an A. What can we do with that? Except go to the Bodwell family homepage. It is an online family tree for all North Americans with the last name Bodwell. Is your last name Bodwell? You're probably on this. And who do I find except for Harold Alfonso Bodwell? And he has a kid, Marion Colton, who in 1937 marries Richard Reed Smith, and their child could be none other than M.S. Smith. I don't know what this proves. I just know that I spent the last 2 days putting it together. I think the thing that's bothering me is the fact that these are electricity services, transit systems, oil companies. They are not known for caring a lot about their impacts on the environment. So why do it? Why are they covering up their infrastructure in fake buildings that are so realistic that you might walk by and never notice? So I tried to look at more modern sources and watched webinars and town halls. Double-speed playback was humanity's most important invention. I spread my research out to other countries. L'architecture? De la Rue. I don't speak French. I also realized that the UK has fake buildings and Taha did not need to go to Paris.
My lawyers will be in contact.
It's fun. So I think I have an answer, or a theory. 2 theories. Theory 1 starts in a neighborhood with a need, like power, ventilation, or sewage. The kind of utility infrastructure that overall improves lives, but can negatively impact its immediate neighbors, leading to the nickname NIMBY facilities, or not in my backyard. The arguments against these facilities are usually based in lifestyle and investment conflicts, with residents fearing the loss of neighborhood resources, potential danger, and other consequences that not only make living in a community less pleasant, they can also harm property value, which alienates people who see housing as an investment, instead of a human right. I understand a lot of these concerns, but sometimes it's just straight up whack. Listen to this dude talk about a parking lot.
This parking lot is a hub. It's the heart of a community.
It's the hub. Now here's him talking about unhoused people.
To increase the population density here with 64 units of people going through the most troubling, difficult times of their lives, this may not be the appropriate place to do it.
An affordable house? But motives aside, people with NIMBY mentalities can be incredibly influential in North American urban design. It's because they tend to participate more in local politics, which informs things like zoning laws. So theory one is that developers with essential projects will cover them in incredibly realistic fake houses just to protect the property value and lifestyles of people with NIMBY mentalities. Bummer. But what about theory two? What about this? What an undisguised substation actually looks like. There's a bunch of metal rods and signs that promise they will kill you. Imagine if that was your neighbor. So theory two for why we have fake buildings is just good urban design. Our environment can impact our health simply by how it's designed. It influences our sense of safety and the way we socialize. Aesthetic justice theorizes that just like clean air and access to education, well-designed environments are also a social good, one that can improve our quality of life. If that's true, then it just makes sense to approach designing the form with as much thoughtfulness as we do the function. Because a substation that powers the neighborhood can also make the person next door feel anxious. It's just a bit scary. And a ventilation shaft that clears the air can become the center of mysteries and conspiracies. So theory two is that designers recognize that good function can't exist without good form, and they decided that the best form may sometimes be one that fits.
This shouldn't be a secret. I don't think so. I think that's not a bad thing. It just entirely depends on what it's hiding. If it's an oil rig, it's kind of fucked up. But if it's like, if it's an air vent or if it's a fucking power station, then that's good. It's my most NIMBY-like quality. You know what I mean? My most NIMBY-like quality is like neighborhood harmony and aesthetics. Like I am perfectly in favor of you know, more housing. I just want to make sure that it's streamlined and looks like this and it looks cool and nice.
Into the hearts of cities or quiet suburbs all around the world. Unremarkable until you take a closer look.
Does that mean no taller buildings? No, I don't have a problem with that.
Except for this building.
I